Good morning, evening, good afternoon, good morrow to you, sir. Yeah, that's the correct thing to say. I'm Tom, and I want to welcome you to the premiere episode of Classics Gaming. I appreciate you watching this video. And before we look at today's game that we're going to showcase, which is Diablo, I want to just tell you a little bit about Classics Gaming. So Classics Gaming is a channel devoted to showcasing games that people might have kind of forgotten about, but also to showcase the innovation, at least one innovation in making that game that developers made, that I believe the industry today needs to remember, in large, both gamers and the people who are making games, producers. So that's the big picture point of this. But the other part, another big part, is just to have fun. Look at these games, fall back in love with them, and to present them in a way that people can go back and look at them today, too. I'm a big believer in modernizing these classics. Some of them we're going to play with in virtual reality, so that'll be really cool. I think you'll really enjoy that. And if you have a headset, I'll provide the resources you need to play those in virtual reality yourself. And others, I'm going to use mods on almost everything. Now, I realize that might upset some of the purists watching this. I'm kind of a purist myself, but at some point I had to look at the big picture and go, you know what, if I want to get people back in love with these games, I need to present them in a way that they're going to love them, that the modern gamer is going to be excited about seeing them and wanting to play them. Which brings me to the last point about Classics Gaming. Each game that I showcase is going to be either really, really, really cheap or free. So like today's game is Diablo 1, but we're going to use a free mod called Beelzebub. And the resources, the links to download it are all just below me in this box thing. You know, there's like a box, and underneath it's like you guys know what you're doing. Just go down there and click around, subscribe and like while you're there, and let's jump in. Let's jump in to Diablo 1. Imagine this. You come home, you know, from like school or work or both, or you know, neither. I'm not judging, whatever you do. And it's been a long day, and all you want to do is kick up your feet and play some Fortnite. But instead, some old dude drops a sword in your hand and goes, "Go into thine base of the ment, for the devil himself dwelleth where thou thyself dwelleth." And so instead of getting your 8 hours of beauty sleep, which I know I need so badly I don't even show my face in these videos, right? You're going through 16 levels of demon slaying, well water purifying, and finding children's legs. There are children who lost their legs that you find. And in general, just mayhem, only to fight the devil himself, El Diablo. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to introduce you to today in this mod of Beelzebub. here's the menu, and I want to explain something before we move on. My throat is really sore today, and I love the audio in this game anyway, so I'm going to let the game do most of the speaking for itself. However, there are parts where I fast forward through gameplay because it's a long game, and I want to get to the first real boss, the Butcher. So in those parts is where I'll do more commentary. At that rate, let's start playing. So I selected a character that I had preloaded, mainly because I did this in the first game a lot. This is pretty much the way that I played it. I'd level 1 character through level 1 and then save the character and not the game, and then the next time I started a new game, select the same character. That way I could just keep grinding. I think a lot of people did that, at least in the PlayStation version. This menu is a new addition to this mod, and one that I'm very grateful for. The settings that I changed, I turn off screen shake. The monster information is incredibly handy, and the other one is town walk speed. The default town walk speed is very slow, which I just did a minute ago to kind of let you see what it was. And the fast town walk speed is at 100% and it's much faster. Pardon my rough editing here.
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the Tavern of the Rising Sun. Thank goodness you've returned. Much has changed since you lived here, my friend. All was peaceful until the Dark Riders came and destroyed our village. Many were cut down where they stood, and those who took up arms were slain or dragged away to become slaves, or worse. The church at the edge of town has been desecrated and is being used for dark rituals. The screams that echo in the night are inhuman, but some of our townsfolk may yet survive. Follow the path that lies between my tavern and the blacksmith's shop to find the church and save who you can. Perhaps I can tell you more if we speak again. Good luck.
So these quests are all here because I've played through before, but it's starting a new game. So if you were starting a brand new game, not all of those quests would be there. They kind of come in as you get them. So the first one that Ogden gives you is just sort of a general how-to, the backstory, where you come from and why you're here. As you approach the cathedral, you meet this guy, who, if it was your first playthrough, would tell you about the Butcher. Because he's already told me about the Butcher, all I do is say your death will be avenged.
Your death will be avenged.
His complaint about the Butcher is that King Leoric led them down there to find his son, or find the Archbishop's son, I think. Lazarus led them down there to find the King's son, that's it. And they were all destroyed and killed by the Butcher, and he barely made it out alive, and he asked you to kill the Butcher. And so you reassure him with this phrase, your death will be avenged. And every time you click on him, your character will say it.
Your death will be avenged. Your death will be avenged. Your death will be avenged.
I think if somebody can make a good remix of that, do it. Do it.
Can't a fellow drink in peace? Ogden is the best man in town. I don't think his wife likes me much, but as long as she keeps tapping kegs, I'll like her just fine. Seems like I've been spending more time with Ogden than most, but he's so good to me.
No, you can't make me go back there. I won't let you take me. Too much pain. Too many dead. Can't get the blood out of my eyes. My mouth.
Big cleaver, killing all my friends. Couldn't stop him.
Had to run away. Couldn't save them. Trapped in a room with so many bodies. So many friends. No!
There are a few survivors of the Butcher. Farnham is one of them. I think Griswold is the other one, and Wirt. Surprisingly, Wirt. And then the guy who dies right outside the cathedral. He was a survivor, and now he's dead.
Hello, my friend.
You can
Stay a
probably
while
tell
and listen.
that.
Ah, Pepin. I count him as a true friend. Perhaps the closest I have here. He is a bit addled at times, but never a more caring or considerate soul has existed. His knowledge and skills are equaled by few, and his door is always open. It seems that the Archbishop Lazarus goaded many of the townsmen into venturing into the labyrinth to find the king's missing son. He played upon their fears and whipped them into a frenzied mob. None of them were prepared for what lay within the cold earth. Lazarus abandoned them down there, left in the clutches of unspeakable horrors to die. You must have been speaking with Wirt. His is a sad story indeed. That poor child was taken into the labyrinth by the demons, ripped from the very arms of his mother, Canis. May her soul rest in peace. The boy managed to escape, but only after they had chewed off his leg, and he has not been quite sane since. He often speaks in riddles, but his knowledge of the labyrinth may hold some truth. Well, what can I do for you? Well, what can I do for you? Look at that edge, that balance. A sword in the right hands, and against the right foe is the master of all weapons. Its keen blade finds little to hack or pierce on the undead, but against a living, breathing enemy, a sword will bitter slice their flesh. I saw what Farnham calls the butcher, as it swathed a path through the bodies of my friends. He swung a cleaver as large as an axe, hewing limbs and cutting down brave men where they stood. I was separated from the fray by a host of small screeching demons, and somehow found the stairway leading out. I never saw that hideous beast again, but his blood-stained visage haunts me to this day. I was with Farnham that night that Lazarus led us into the labyrinth. I never saw the Archbishop again, and I may not have survived if Farnham was not at my side. I fear that the attack left his soul as crippled as, well, another did my leg. I cannot fight this battle for him now. But, what if I could?
What ails you, my friend? Ogden's barmaid is a sweet girl. Her grandmother is quite ill and suffers from delusions. She claims that they are visions, but I have no proof of that one way or the other.
Good day. How may I serve? Ogden and his wife have taken me and my grandmother into their home, and have even let me earn a few gold pieces by working at the inn. I owe so much to them, and hope one day to leave this place and help them start a grand hotel in the east. When Farnham said something about a butcher killing people, I immediately discounted it. But since you brought it up, maybe it is true. How could you even think of going back to that place? What could be so important?
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. Well, what can I do for you? Well, what can I do for you?
I sense a soul in search of answers. Psst, over here. Yet out it figured you haven't? Understand could you even so simple it make to try-die? Chamber Butcher the from Spell Portal Town the cast! I know more than you think about that grisly fiend. His little friends got a hold of me and managed to get my leg before Griswold pulled me out of that hole. I'll put it bluntly. Kill him before he kills you and adds your corpse to his collection.
All I can do now is pray for. All I can do now is pray for.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
That's the same thing we say after Russell uses the bathroom. If you don't know Russell, he's a great guy. Good guy. Just don't use the bathroom after him. While we're fast forwarding here through a little bit of grinding, I want to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do with this playthrough. I want to go as far as the Butcher in this showcase. I intended to do it just smoothly without any cutting or editing, but it is such a long path to the Butcher, and I royally messed up when I began building this character. More on that later. The short version is I should have put way more of my points on dexterity. You met everybody in town, and they're all wonderful people. This fella, who we find out his name is Aiden, returns to town to find Tristram a lively place at peace. And it is technically lively, full of demon life, and it is also technically at peace as almost everyone is dead, and dead people are peaceful people. So it is in a mess. He descends into the fray, into the dungeon of the, it's not really a dungeon, I guess, it's the cellar of the old chapel, to rid the town of this evil. Wanted to show you some of the inventory management that goes on here. Basically, it was kind of fun. Some people I think didn't like this part, and that's a fair criticism, but I enjoyed, switching things around your inventory to pick up more stuff, add stuff, and see stuff. I actually really like this part. So I'm going to compare some weapons, maybe change my loadout, and get ready for the Butcher, which I hope to do by having a high damage weapon at this point, or glitch kill him, which I'll tell you about when we get to him. Maybe. So these are the spells that I have right now. I think most of them I have read books from. I'll show you how you acquire a new skill in the game, and essentially if you have enough points on any one of your attributes, you can take and learn whatever spell you come across in the form of a book in the dungeon. So instead of just having like points that you drop in boxes, you actually find books and read them, which makes sense because although it's uncomfortably similar to schoolwork, it is, you know, how you learn most things in life. So you find these books and you read them, and then you learn that skill.
I can't get there from here. Where would I put this?
What's this? Book of Healing. I think I'm gonna pick up the Book of Healing first, and then read it. Then it will be out of my inventory. I can pick up the axe. And look, I just learned a skill. I right-clicked, or you know, on the PlayStation when I used to play that way, it was press circle, and you read the book. And of course, you don't have to sit down and go through chapter by chapter, verse by verse. Leveling up is like in many games, here at least, you put your points on whatever attribute you want to level up. And here's where I've been messing up with this build so far, and why why I had to sort of change the way I did this video. So, the Butcher. The Butcher is a very strong boss. He's a very difficult boss for low levels. It's actually kind of a hard introduction to the game, if I'm being honest. And the Butcher starts with 100 health. Now at this point, I'm at level 7, and I have 93 health, so he's already got more health than I do. Not only that, but his weapon does 2 to 22 damage. I think mine at this point did like 1 to 13, so he already does a lot more damage than I do. And on top of that, he lands a hit every second. So if I have 94 health, he's going to land a hit every second, and he's going to do 20 to 22 damage, which it seems like he always does the high range of damage. I've never seen him do 2. Anyway, that's 5 hits. He's going to kill me within 5 hits. And it's a hit a second. That's going to be 1 second. And on top of that, but his hit ratio is incredibly high. He rarely misses. So if you don't get a hit in between his, you're going to die. And on top of that, his hits have stun and knockback. So he's got high health, high damage output, stun and knockback, incredibly high accuracy, and a very high hit ratio. So the way that you get around this is you either take him from a range, with a ranged weapon like a bow and arrow. You glitch kill him, which is just that basically some of the walls have spots you can shoot through, and he can't open doors either, so you can kind of like lock him in a room if it has bars on one side and shoot the bars. You can do that kind of thing. You can take him from range, or you can level up your dexterity to 55, and doing that will give you a high enough hit ratio and accuracy to be able to land enough hits to take him out. Now, just so you have an idea of what that's going to mean, I didn't realize it right where I was at the game at this point. I'm level 7. I had to get to level 14 to get my dexterity up to level 55. So while I'm here at level 7, we'll see how it works out for me to take on the Butcher. Brilliant thing about this is if you've ever played a game that features combat, you've probably at some point wondered, why did I just kill that person? You know, like, did I do it because some NPC told me to? Is there some political thing going on in the background? Why did I just kill a person? I know they're digital. I personally don't have a moral problem with it, but I have stopped, you know, and thought in the game world, I'm really putting a lot of faith in some NPC's backstory, you know, to go kill this person. But if you have the devil, I mean, that's something that everybody knows you need to hit with a stick, right? I mean, everybody, you don't see the devil and think, I'm not going to cut his head off. You roll right over him. And so really, by putting this in the Gothic setting, they removed the moral question of taking human life. That was actually very smart. It might be one of the reasons that the game did so well. So I'm going to go back to town here and fast forward through some of this stuff, because I pretty well introduced you to everybody in town, which, by the way, one of the quests later is that you purify the well water because it's been contaminated, and no one knows why. And I'm just thinking, Cain is always standing beside that. He's got to go to the bathroom somewhere, you know what I mean? I think really that quest should just be have a conversation with Cain. Anyway, I know that I'm a little bit shy on everything I need to kill the butcher, so I loaded up with some potions. I plan to kill him at this point by either potion chugging and putting out output or damage with that axe, or by I have a bow and arrow equipped in my secondary slot I can switch to very quickly, and then hopefully take it out at a range. So Word was telling me that if I go in here and cast the town portal, something special will happen. So let's see what Word says. If I have, do I have a town portal? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, what's this? Let us go. Alright, I'm gonna be quiet for most of this. I want the game to do the talking.
I can't get there from here. I can't get there from here. Looks like it's rusted shut. Looks like it's rusted shut. I can't get there from here.
This is not going well. This is not going well. Huh. Maybe with a little bit more strategy. I'm gonna go back up the town. I think I'm gonna go back up the town and see if I can back out a little bit. Man, I forgot how hard he was. Alright, so here I am back up at town, and I'm just gonna... I'm recording this part in retrospect, like I finished all this gameplay. I'm gonna just skip ahead a little bit here so that you can see how this ends and appreciate just how hard the Butcher was. I mentioned some of the innovations of Diablo. Oh look, he was waiting. He's waiting for me. Welcome to my house. I'm the Butcher. Please don't eat me. He's gonna eat me. Let's see. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. Definitely gonna win. I can feel it in my bones that he's breaking. Look at how fast he's hitting, man. He doesn't have a chance to hit in.
Not enough mana.
And I'm dead. Yeah, this is gonna be a scene that I see in my nightmares. Right here. I remember those days of frustration trying to take out this behemoth of a boss, the Butcher. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually, at this point, I'm gonna play this a little bit more. I actually wind up going and grinding through to level 4 twice to bring my character up to level 14 and give myself 55 dexterity, and then I come back with a respec and take on the Butcher again. And I think you'll see that this time it goes very differently.
Fresh meat.
The spirits of the dead are now avenged. I can't carry anymore.
Nice. There's the cleaver. It's a very powerful weapon. The problem is its repair. It's like got 5 out of 5 durability, so you have to really stay on top of repairing it. And this is the spec out that I did. You can see here it's very different. I leveled up to the point that I could get much better armor, a sword that causes frost damage, 2 rings that that bring up your hit ratio, as well as a shield that brings up your hit ratio. And I don't remember what the helmet did, but it had something to do with hit ratio and just making it higher. And the point of all that was to add to this dexterity that I'd been leveling up, so I was more accurate with my hits and was able to make those hits faster. So that's it. That's the Butcher, and that's the playthrough of Beelzebub, this mod. Now not the playthrough, excuse me, but just the showcase of this mod. Which is, to close, I want to tell you a couple things that are different about the mod. For one, it's not really a real playthrough of Diablo. The game itself, you started and you played through it, and as I mentioned, you could save a character alone and then reload the character, but that would take you back to the first quest. Beelzebub saves your character, but it also saves quest progress and then resets everything else. So you can still go through and fight back through floors 1, 2, 3, or whatever you've done. But as far as obtaining those quests again, they will already be done at each time you load up the same character. So it's really comes out to be the same thing, but it's the biggest gameplay mechanic difference. The other differences are they took some of the characters that were written into the game but didn't make the final cut, like Tremaine the Priest. Guide the salesman is from Diablo 2, and many of the mechanics, inventory management, and trade systems are from Diablo 2, which Diablo 2 improved a lot of things. Diablo 1's an amazing game, but Diablo 2 is probably, I think many people regard it as the best in the series. So it's a fantastic mod. Check the link below, download it, play it, have some fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed today's program, and I hope that you'll go check this game out. And also, I hope that you'll look at our social media. We now have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also check out our web store at cclothes.co, cclothes.co, and I'd be very happy for you to look at some of the things. I'm glad to add a line of portable handheld retro gaming consoles that you can check out. I tried to get some that fit pretty much all price ranges, from cheap to hardcore heavy hitters. So check those out. You can also look at our mugs and clothes and all that stuff. Anyway, go check it out. cclothes.co. C-C-L-O-T-H-E-S.co. Thank you guys very much.